Alright guys, this is my Sunday project. First one is my lawnmower. Wheel is broken, so I have to find another one. And then second project was supposed to be a quick bearing job on this 2001 Audi TT Turbo. And so far I got the bearing in, but this is what I was wrestling with it this morning. And this bearing was pretty stuck in it. It was rusted out. And so here's my hub, and this is what it looked like. But I could not get the bearing out, so I was using a Grappler OTC Grappler, I'm sorry. Couldn't get it out, put it in a press, could not get it out, and then was applying the heat to the steering knuckle to literally, I mean, for like good 20 minutes I was heating up the steering knuckle with the, in a press, with the tension, on the bearing, and finally I was able to get it out. So right now I'm waiting for another hub, and it looks okay. I mean, I had to kind of heat it up here. I was hitting with my hammer, trying to get it, to the vibration to get the rust loose, but it took me a while to get it out, but this will be fixed. So along with all this, I have a couple of codes in this engine, and I have a misfire. Let's see. I have catalytic converters. I have a secondary air injection. I'm not worried about the brake. This was fixed. I believe the owner fixed it. And I'm not worried about the catalytic converters now. And secondary injection, that's not big of a problem. But I have a random misfire, P0300. I have a cylinder 3 misfire. The power supply, I'm not sure what that is all about. And then I have a number 4 misfire. And then I have, so this is what I'm after. This is a P0, I think. I need to go to global OBD2 to get this. This is a intermittent lean condition. Oh, I'm sorry, P1136 intermittent lean code. Unfortunately, I do not have a freeze frame data on it, and then a mass airflow sensor. So if I go here to freeze frame data, and it's not supported, so I may have to go back to OBD2 to see if I can pull the freeze frame. So let's go ahead and look up the fuel trim and see if you can figure this out. Alright, I went back to global OBD2, and I just want to look at the freeze frame and see if I can find any direction. I have to say I struggle a little bit with this car because, the fuel trim looked okay, and being an intermittent problem, what do you do? What direction to take? And you can see we're in the open loop. This is what our P1136 lean code is coming from, and if it's in an open loop, fuel short and long-term fuel trim looks perfect. 0% on short, 2.3 on the long. Vehicle speed was 60 miles an hour. Calculator 55%, RPM 3700. So this could be under load, but it could be during deceleration as well. So this is not much of a help because my fuel trim is perfect. And sometimes it depends also how when computer gets the data. And so let's look at the current data. So I'm going to do a wide open throttle test. I cannot drive the car, but we can see some. Look at the fuel trim and wide open throttle. So I'm going to go custom. Deselect all. fuel trim, and the short and the long fuel trim, oxygen sensors, and RPM. Okay, so we're in closed loop. Idle is, engine speed is fine. Sorry about the oxygen sensor works fine. This is the downstream. It looks okay. I'm not sure why it's flagging the code for catalytic converters. But let's look at the short-term and long-term fuel trim. And perfect. Short-term -1%, long-term at 3.9%. Nothing wrong with this car whatsoever. So let's do a wide open throttle. Wide open throttle, -10% on the short term, long term didn't change any at all. This tells me that I should not have any problem with my fuel delivery, and the mass airflow sensor should be okay. So honestly, I really didn't, I was kind of running out of the options on this car, so I decided to, let's just smoke the engine and see what happens. And that's how I found it, so I'll show you guys. Let me now the engine is misfiring right now, and all two sensors going lean, fuel trim is going up. And I let go, and let's go back to normal. Okay, as you can see, this car has a lot of stuff. All these hoses are just, in pretty bad shape, but nothing indicates the vacuum leak. And here's my vacuum leak right here. There's a L-shaped hose that goes straight into the intake manifold, and when I move it, and this is where my random misfire is coming from as well. Okay, so I have to say, when I worked on this car the other day, I was completely surprised to see smoke coming out of this engine. By looking at the fuel trim, it was perfect. Alright, let's do the smoke test. By the way, here's another new addition to my shop, which I'm really proud of. This is my Blue Point smoke machine. I got this on eBay for 350 bucks. I do like it. It is a really nice smoke machine. This thing puts up the smoke in a matter of seconds. I really like it. This is a great deal. Usually this is the older version, I believe, and I kind of like the simplicity of it. Just have a pressure gauge and your flow gauge, flow meter. Something that it doesn't have, unfortunately. I cannot, like if I do evap system test, I cannot force the air only into the intake. I have to use the smoke right away, which kind of it would be nice to be able to use like a CO2 and look at the flow meter and see if you have a leak or not before you put the smoke in the evap. But anyway, this is really nice addition to my shop. I'm so excited about it. And the seller was very nice. He packaged it very nicely. This was a great deal. It was awesome. So okay, anyway, so I got my intake blocked with this paper, plastic bag, and I'm just gonna hook it up now to battery. And we have a power light on. And I had a little problem with the switch, so I had to clean up the switch. Was a little giving me a problem, and I had a little bit of a leak on this hose, so I had to trim the hose and make it better fit, and other than that it was fine. Something else that I didn't realize right away, this cap here, to take it out, this is where you fill up your solution, you know, your fluid. You have to actually unscrew it. What it does, it's like one of those freeze plugs, you know, like you have this rubber here, and when you screw it, it will compress and it will expand. So if you have this machine, just kind of pay attention to it. Don't yank it out right away. You might damage something. So anyway. So now see how you can actually pull it out. But now when you tighten this down, it will expand that rubber and will give you a good seal on it. And just hand tight, and it's nice. Okay, anyway, so let's see how long it will take to get the smoke coming. I haven't started it at all. It was at the red light for the smoke, and there you go. A lot of smoke. I mean, this thing really works nice. Okay, so now all I'm going to do, I'm going to take this vacuum hose, I'm going to disconnect. I think this is the fuel pressure regulator, and plug it in and look for smoke. You guys can see it right there. It's right from that hose. See that? Sweet. Okay. Just gonna now. Once I fix that, there might be some other broken hoses or something, but until I get this fixed, I really can't see anything because there's so much smoke coming out of the engine right now, out of the hose, that I can't really pinpoint any other issues. But he's looking for this elbow. He's looking for on eBay if he can find something. So if we get this, you know, if we find this, I might make another video and see what the fuel trim is. And but for now, this should take care of it. Alright guys, well this is a kind of fun one because honestly I was completely surprised to see vacuum leak on this engine. But looking at the fuel trim, absolutely no problems at all. Now it's intermittent. How are you going to duplicate this problem? You know, I should take it for a test drive. I didn't have a chance to do it. It was kind of late at night. It was the other night when I was working. It was like 9 o'clock, and now I have this wheel bearing to deal with. But I decided to make this video just to, when you're running out of the ice, recently subscribed to Scanner Dinner Premium channel, and he struggled on one case where it was actually a bad mass airflow sensor, and he even reprogrammed the PCM and did all kinds of crazy stuff. Look at TSBs, and you know, I can't remember what kind of car it was, but he said it was like, that was a great point. You know, even if you have a normal fuel trim, are you going to smoke the engine? And I answer, yes, you will if you cannot find the problem. And that was exactly what was going on in this engine. I was shocked, I really was. So it's just one of those things to kind of pay attention. If you're running out of the options, nothing else makes sense. Just now literally go from every single possible cause that can give us a lean code, from you know, mass airflow sensor, fuel trim, injectors, fuel pressure, evap, purge valve, you know, anything that can cause, you know, lean code, and see if you can find it. So okay guys, well I think this was fun. So alright, thank you for watching and see you next time. Thank you, bye bye.